Hey everyone, welcome back. Your emotions are not reality. Let me explain what that means. Our bodies in this physical, biological plane of existence on planet Earth, um, our human bodies and other mammalian creatures, certainly bears, lions, tigers, big cats, what have you, um, and other critters and creatures, uh, we operate on three planes of energy, and we are composed, these meat bags that we are composed of as bodies. And mainly I'm talking about human beings for the purpose of this video, but this, as I mentioned a minute ago, this does apply to certainly other mammalian creatures because of the anatomical structures of our brain and nervous system and what have you. But for our purposes here, I'm talking about human beings. We operate on three planes of existence and energy, rather: chemical, electrical, and thermal. And based on those planes of energy that drive us, what is enabling me to create this video and speak with you, and when we have conversations with whoever we're having conversations with, when we're sleeping, when we're eating, and any other thing that we do while we're alive on this planet, that is what drives us, is thermal, electrical, and chemical energy. As such, um, emotions are not our emotions are not reality. So again, let me explain what that means with that little backstory. And fact check me on this. You don't have to take my word for it. And by the way, I encourage anyone, when you're watching me speak or do these videos for you, fact check me, please. AI it, Google it, what have you. Do whatever you need to do. If something is my opinion, I'll say, or I'll preface, this is my opinion. This is not anything um, quantitative or even qualitative. But if I say it's phenomenological or it is my opinion, I'll preface with that as well. But this is not my opinion. So, as such, chemical, electrical, and thermal energy. Our emotions, we have three tiers of, and now I'm oversimplifying this, and I'm not a neurologist and um, anything of that nature, that scientific discipline, but this is also a fact. Our brains are basically structured in three tiers. Okay, so we have our brainstem, which is what connects our spinal column to our brain, to the rest of our brain. We have a lower functioning form of a brain called the true brain, or what I like to refer to as the reptilian brain, meaning reptiles only have a brainstem, a medulla, a cerebrum. Okay, all of these basic human biological entities that are responsible for breathing, sexual function, reproduction, um, autonomic, basic autonomic responses, coughing, blinking, okay, body temperature, sweating. We're not consciously aware of, although it's essential for our existence and our basic functioning, heartbeat, everything. That then leads into our limbic system, which is the second tier. Okay, and our limbic system is the center or midbrain, our midbrain, which is responsible for our and houses our emotions and our emotional reactions. And the amygdala is a very prominent part of this area of the brain, in addition to the hippocampus, which is a very unique part of the brain because then that bridges up into, it's involved and runs through our limbic system, but then also up into our cerebral cortex, which is the next and highest tier of functioning. And anatomically, that's what most people would visualize when they think of when you say the word brain, that's what they think of, that gray squiggly matter, right? Which itself has five hemispheres, but 2 hemispheres and 5 regions. Okay, but I'm not going to get into all that for all purposes here right now. But those are the 3 tiers of functioning. Okay, and so when we have emotions, when we feel any emotion, okay, take your pick of the dozens and dozens and actually a couple of hundred um, different emotions that we have, which are very intricate. When we have them, they do generate energy. What we think, what we do, what we feel. Okay, that's another thing. Very, very basically, we operate. Human beings operate on that basic 3 forms of functioning, just like we have those 3 modes of energy. Human beings operate on what we think, what we do, and what we feel. All of that generates energy. Okay, and when we have emotions and we feel them, that inherently does not define reality. It doesn't, it might, we might interpret it as what is real, but it's not a reflection, a clear, objective reflection of what the universe is presenting to us. And the universe is, this is also not my opinion, is bigger, infinitely bigger, universally bigger than any human being. Okay, certainly bigger than planet Earth, and certainly universally bigger than the solar system or the galaxy. Okay, so certainly bigger than any one human being. So when we have emotions, they inherently are not an objective representation or reflection of what the universe is giving to us. And I say that because that's what it's all about. The universe is there. And by the way, the universe operates on many different forms of energy, but pretty much, and again, I'm not a physicist either, but pretty much operates on chemical, electrical, thermal energies. That's a lot more involved than that, but um, the universe provides for us, and we just have to be aware and conscious enough to see what it's showing us. If you want to call it God, if you want to call it the universe, but all of this energy is there for us, and it's our job to be responsive to it. We don't dictate it, and this kind of goes back to any human being being bigger than the universe. No, hell no. So when we're feeling emotions, and if they're overwhelming, overwhelmingly bad, unpleasant emotions, just remember that is not a clear reflection of reality, of what is actually happening. Okay. So remember these tidbits. I can go on and on and on with what I'm presenting here. This is just for a few minutes. Any questions, comments? Please feel free. I'd love to talk more about this. See you all in the next one.